So I accidentally ended up watching the entirety of X-Men Evolution because it was on Disney Plus and I didn't have anything else to watch. If it helps, I was watching it alongside WandaVision episodes, which were coming out weekly at the time. So I ended up seeing the Wanda Agatha episode the same day as the episode where Vision was getting deconstructed. Honestly, I had no knowledge of the show beforehand, and I didn't have any interest either. But after watching the entire show, it's pretty underrated. But let's bring it back a bit. X-Men Evolution debuted November 4th of the year 2000, the same year as the first Bryan Singer X-Men movie. The show debuted on the Kids WB, back when that was a thing. Sheesh, that program ended like 13 years ago. I feel so old. Strangely, this show doesn't get brought up a lot in X-Men discussions, which is weird because it literally created characters like Spike and X-23, in the same way that Batman the Animated Series created Harley Quinn. It's especially strange considering how big of a character X-23 has been in the last few years, considering she was both in the Logan movie and she's been Wolverine, the Wolverine in the modern comics. This show reimagined several X-Men characters, such as Rogue, who's now Goth, and also Wanda's Goth, which makes sense, this did come out in the year 2000. I gotta say, throughout watching this, I really dig these character designs. Even Wolverine managed to make the original design contemporary in a pretty cool way. Yellow is now orange, and it's just awesome. I gotta say that the only character I think they missed is Storm. For some reason, Storm is pretty much just Professor X's caretaker, which I just hate it because she doesn't do anything throughout this show. She's just relegated to a side character, and it sucks, especially considering how powerful she's supposed to be. I guess that Nightcrawler is supposed to be the comedic relief character, but he's probably the least funny in my opinion. Kitty Pryde is just Kitty Pryde. I don't really even have anything to say. She's just Kitty Pryde from the comics. Cyclops and Jean Grey are pretty similar to their comic book counterparts, but now that they're teens and Wolverine's still an adult, at least we didn't get to see that shitty love triangle again. As the show goes on, we get more and more X-Men characters. But as I said, I had no knowledge of the show before I saw it, so I was really shocked when I saw characters like Captain America and Nick Fury pop up. By the way, they were the only characters that weren't X-Men to ever pop up. The plot is a bit harder to explain as it does start out more Monster of the Week and gradually becomes more story-based. The original cast they start out with is actually pretty small, but as the series goes on, they recruit more and more members such as Rogue and Beast. There is this ongoing mystery where Magneto's pulling the strings, and I could imagine if you were a kid watching this week to week, it would be pretty enthralling, but it kind of fell flat to me. Most of the time, the antagonists are just the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. I said the show is very Monster of the Week. That's up until Apocalypse shows up. When Apocalypse shows up, the X-Men have to team up with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and Magneto. That's how powerful Apocalypse is supposed to be. And I guess that I kind of like this, but not really. I mean, he gets defeated within a few episodes. He's not even built up for that long. And the show pretty much ends after that, although we do get to see a glimpse into the future. Which is just a few slide-in PNGs, but still. I guess that they were trying to get the show picked up for another season, but that never happened, so this is just what we were left with. Time for my final thoughts. I would give this show a 6.5 out of 10, which, considering that I have no nostalgia for the show, is pretty good. I'd imagine if I had any sort of nostalgia for the show, I would rate it a bit higher. Overall, I think it's decent, and if you do have Disney Plus, I would recommend rewatching it just for the hell of it. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, I recommend liking it, and hey, maybe even subscribe. And if you want to go the extra mile, I have a TikTok and Instagram.